Hey there everybody, this is Ethan with WiseCrack Studios, and today I wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive into something that can help make a lot of bass guitar mixing sort of come through a little bit better. So as you can see, I've got this song here where the entire song is based around a bass guitar that is double recorded. One track is a DI, the other is an amp track. Now if you listen to it real quick, I want for you to pay attention and just try to hear the bass in particular. This song isn't done yet, so I turned up the bass guitar just to make it a little bit easier to hear, but you'll probably hear what I'm talking about pretty quickly. So sort of what was going on there was something where the bass guitar, if you were listening, just sounds a little thin and a little small, and what I was looking for was sort of this big, warm sound, but in the end it just kind of came through a little bit thin, and I was trying to think to myself, why is it doing that? And then I checked on something very important. So if we zoom in here, just zoom and enhance real quick. Here we go. That'll be faster. You can see that the two tracks are starting to get out of phase with each other. So for anyone that doesn't know, two tracks that are recorded of the same thing, if they are out of phase with each other, will create little bits of distortion that are them canceling each other out. A perfect example of this is if you take a track, double it, and then invert the phase of one of the two, you have effectively just cut out that track. It is now silence there. So this is doing that, just not to quite that level. It's just making it sound bad. So something that I decided to do here was just sort of take that and nudge it over a little bit. I think 3 nudges should work here. 1, 2, 3. And each of those nudges was about 1 millisecond long. Let's see, I don't think that actually went. There we go. That's looking better. Yeah, so now as you can see, the peak down here, or the trough really, is in the same spot as the trough here, and the peak over here is in the same spot as the peak over here. They don't have to be perfect, but it helps if you can have the main body of the two together. And then if we listen now, it's going to sound a little bit more like this. And this is something that you can do very easily in just about any recording program. I mean, this is Logic. They have a built-in little nudge meter right there. But if you have Pro Tools, you can use a program to just sort of time delay a track just the slightest hair so that the two are in phase again. For me, I just use Logic, so this is the easiest method for me to use. Now, hopefully, if you weren't doing this before, anytime that you get the double recording like this, where it's the DI as well as the amp, you'll go through and just sort of check that the two tracks are in phase with each other. Easiest way to do that is really just to zoom in and look at the two waves and just see, are they trough to trough and peak to peak. Now this is something that you should go through and do on any recordings that you get of a bass guitar where it's double recorded like this, where it's the amp and the DI. They very often can get out of phase with each other, and it's something where you're going to have just hours and hours you're spending trying to figure out why the bass guitar doesn't sound quite right, when all that you needed to do was just hit 1 millisecond nudge 3 times in one direction. Now hopefully this is going to be something that you can add to your music production toolbox so that we can all go out there and make better recordings together. As always, this has been Ethan with WiseCrack Studios, and I hope that you have a lovely day.